This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman and Riley Smith. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Monday, June 6th, 2022. We're so glad you can join us today. In this episode of Ag Matters PM, I'll have some interviews with Governor Kim Reynolds and Ag Secretary Mike Naig as we were at the kickoff event for the Governor's Charity Steer Show a couple weeks ago. We'll also have a check of the ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down those markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the close for another day of the ag marketplace, and for the closing numbers and a bit of analysis, we go to Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. Robin, what did we see today in the grains?
Well, on the corn and wheat, we saw some fairly significant strength. And that was based on the events over the weekend, the result of Russia targeting one of the grain terminals. Now, that grain terminal mostly had sun meal in it, but even though that damage there kind of puts in question as far as, is there going to be continued targeting of some of those grain terminals or elevators? How much is the emphasis or the moving forward of moving grain out of Ukraine really going to take place? So a lot of that comes into question if they're talk one way about moving things out to the world and then the other sides bomb some of those things. But anyway, that pushed the corn higher into the double digits. Wheat was significantly higher based off of that reaction. Now, corn inspections, we're at 56.5 million bushels today. Now that's still down 17% from last year. The wheat inspections at 13 million bushels, but that's up 16% from last year. So the wheat is doing really well as far as exports are concerned. Soybeans were at 12.9 million bushels. That was down 12% from last year. So the really push today really wasn't from the export inspection side. It was mainly from the events over the weekend. Now the 7-day forecast calls for near normal temperature, but there's a little bit of questioning whether there's going to be some high pressure ridge starting to develop after that, but it's not strong enough in order to hang our hat on that at this point in time. Now, heavy rains did fall in some places in west of Des Moines, Iowa. There's been some talk from farmers in that area. They might have to do some replanting where the rain was fairly heavy. But again, that's just a part of what is involved in the market at this point in time. Now, the other thing to make note of is that soybeans really fell back from the highs of overnight. There was a lot of push behind the soybeans as well. But when crude oil fell back a lot, soybean oil fell back. It seemed to drag the soybeans down with them only closing a couple cents higher.
Right, and something else I want to draw attention to today is, real soon we're going to have that prospective plantings report come out, and the numbers were looking pretty optimistic for corn. So, what's the story going on there?
Well, there's a lot of different ideas that have been floating around out there. There's some anticipation that maybe we'd see some higher acres for corn being planted. I know a while back, one of the largest fertilizer companies were suggesting between 91, 92 million acres of corn. Now, with some of the planting not being done in the north a little bit farther, that may be more of an issue too. So it's going to be all over the place, but it's really difficult in order to say, are we going to be close to USD? Are we going to see more planted acres? Certainly, we're not getting any acres out of CRP because that's more of a next year issue. So it's going to be a lot of discussion as we go through the rest of this month.
All right, and what did we see on the other side of the marketplace in the livestock complex?
Hey, livestock, we did see a little bit of pressure on live cattle today. Cattle seem to be biding their time, waiting to see what cash is going to do. Now, we've seen a number of weeks where cash declined. There's some anticipation that might be the same case today again, or I should say this week again. There's plentiful supplies of cattle that'll be coming to the market, but weights are lower. So that means feedlots, packers may have to step up to the plate and purchase a little more cattle. And that gives an indication there's no real backlog of cattle into that market. So even though higher numbers look to be coming, we really aren't seeing evidence of backlog at this point in time. Now, at the noon report, we did see box beef higher. We did see choice up 211 and select up 290 at the noon report. Now, that changes a lot, as we get through to the end of the day. Now, hogs cutouts really shine today. To the noon report, they're up $6.88 after closing lower on Friday. Now, I don't think that's going to hold that high, but that gives a good indication of consumer demand. And retail probably is coming back to the market again. They want to buy some pork to stock up. Now, that was the morning report. Now, the afternoon report might show lower, but I think we're still going to see some strong cutouts. The other side of the spectrum was the cash market on the hogs on the morning report was down $1.06. So that's not, as supportive to the market. Packers aren't coming quite as heavily to the market, at least on a Monday. But really, the market is driven mostly by the cutouts and giving an impression of consumer demand out there.
All right, Robin. Well, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and our watchers who would like to learn more and get in touch with folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
They can call me directly at 877-256-3253, or they can go to our website, agmarket.net. There'll be the phone number on there and some other contact information.
All right, Robin, it was great talking to you today, and we hope to catch up with you again soon.
All right, thank you.
And that again was Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers close. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. July corn is up 15.5 at 742.5. December corn up 12.5 at 702.5. July soybeans up 1.5 at 16.99 November soybeans up 6.5 at 15.33.5. Soybean meal up 30 cents at 401.30. Soybean oil down 3 cents at 79.49. Chicago wheat up 53 even at 10.93 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 42 3/4 at 12.34.5. Kansas City hard red wheat up 49 even at 11.70 even. And July oats down 10 1/4 at 6.80 On the Merc, June live cattle down 77 cents at 132.82. Feeder cattle down $1.90 at 171.97. Lean hogs down at 177 at 108.97. Pork cutout down $1.47 at 112.52. And Class 3 milk up 15 cents at 24.48. And that's been a check of the Ag Market Recap here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I'll have those interviews with Governor Reynolds and Ag Secretary Mike Naig. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Well, May 27th marked the start of the fundraising effort for this year's Governor's Charity Steer Show, and with this year marking the 40th anniversary of the event, the competition has never been stiffer. Recently, there's even been a bit of a rivalry between Governor Kim Reynolds and Ag Secretary Mike Naig. Reynolds even made sure to kind of call out Secretary Naig during her remarks from the opening ceremony, just to make sure that he brings his A game this year. I had the chance to speak with Governor Reynolds after that event, and she talked about how excited she is for this year's show and how she thinks they'll meet their goals this year. Well, it's a beautiful day here at the Ronald McDonald House here in Des Moines. kicking off the opening ceremony for the Governor's Charity Steer Show. Governor Reynolds, you just gave your comments there, and let's just talk a little bit more about how great this event is and how excited we are to get it kicked off this year.
I'm so excited. A beautiful day. It's a perfect day to talk about a great event that raises a lot of money to help the Ronald McDonald Houses across our state, who provide just tremendous services for families in need who have a loved one that's sick and ill, and so we just really appreciate them. It's hard to believe it's the 40th anniversary. That is just crazy. We're so appreciative of Ambassador Branstad for really launching the Governor's Celebrity Steer Show, and to see the success that it's had in the last 40 years. I think they've raised $5.4 million and counting, so we have a goal of raising $400,000 this year for the 40th anniversary, and I believe we are going to do it. So we're going to do everything we can to hit that target and maybe exceed it. It's so important. We're so appreciative of the Iowa Cattlemen's Association, the Iowa Beef Council industry for their partnership in this, as well as all the sponsors that help make this a reality. And I would be, it wouldn't be right if I didn't thank the young girls and boys that raise these steers, spend every day taking care of them, the work that they put in, and it is, it's like a pet. And they're so excited to come show this and have the opportunity. But it is bittersweet when we step into that cell ring and they have to, say goodbye to that steer. But they know it's for a good cause. So some touching moments right after they come out of the cell ring.
Mm-hmm. And exactly, that's one of the lessons that all 4-H and FFA kids learn as part of showing an animal is the whole cycle of it.
Yeah.
You'll have to part with that animal eventually, but it's part of the industry, part of the cycle, and it helps a lot of people. And obviously with this event, it helps even more people on top of just providing the meat. You're helping with this charitable event. And 40 years, what a great, a huge amount of time for such a huge collaborative effort. You mentioned all the kids showing, we have all the celebrity judges, Iowa Cattlemen's, Iowa Beef. And, you've been involved with this for quite a long time as well, not only as governor, but as lieutenant governor as well. So, what's it been like to watch this event, continue to grow and continue to help people?
Well, I think it's a testament to all of the partners that are involved in it. To really sustain it for that long is not typical. So kudos to everybody that's been involved in it. And it's so much fun. I look forward to it every year. Boy, I tell you what, though, those big steers, I tell you, sometimes I've had very docile ones that are really well trained, that do a great job. I've had them take me all the way across the arena. I think I was halfway through it on my first year before I got Bubba stopped, and I think my whole body was shaking, but I didn't let go, I didn't fall down, and I didn't get drugged, so it was off to the races. So I've had kind of a pretty healthy mix of some wild ones and some pretty good ones too. So you never know. But again, I just appreciate the kids and all their help in leading me through the show ring, and then squaring them up and holding up the head and putting the back down, and it's a lot.
A big thing with the livestock.
Yeah.
And, again, just what
it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. What a great representation of the beef industry. These young kids especially. Seeing how professional they are with these animals, and just how well they know them.
Yeah, it's really impressive to watch them and have them coach you when we're in the ring. But it's a way to highlight Iowans' generosity, to really highlight agriculture and the beef industry. That's really, really important to Iowa's economy. We produce high quality beef, and so it's just another way for us to raise awareness of an industry that's really important to the state of Iowa, and to have some fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly, and it comes at a great time, this announcement, especially the opening ceremony, end of May Beef Month. So just another one of those things to show the Iowa beef industry and what it's really like.
I know, it all lined up really well, didn't it? So be sure and show up at the Iowa State Fair for the Governor's Celebrity Steer Show. You won't be disappointed. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us today, Governor Reynolds, and good luck as we move forward with this, and we look forward to seeing you in the show ring.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I also had the chance to chat with Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Naig. Much like Governor Reynolds, Naig thinks the show is a great way to have fun raising money for an amazing cause that highlights the morals we have in the state of Iowa.
Well, it really is exciting. Here we are, the 40th anniversary of the Governor's Charity Steer Show, and I've always thought this is a special event in that, of course, it's all focused on the charity itself, which is the Ronald McDonald Houses of Iowa, which, think of what they do. Think of the support that they provide for families at a time of incredible need, to be able to give them a place, a safe place, a comfortable place to be home away from home while they're seeking treatment. And I can't think of a better way for our beef industry, for our Iowa farmers, to show up and support and really bring that family concept together. And of course, when we think about the show itself at the Great Iowa State Fair, we get this great combination of a charity event, some fun, because we do have there is some sparring going on.
A little bit of competition.
Little competition. You heard the governor kind of call me out this morning. We have a lot of fun with that, but it's a wonderful show itself. But of course, the other thing we love is we're also highlighting the quality of Iowa's beef industry and the commitment that they have to community. And so it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful combination, brings it all together. 40th anniversary. Hard to believe that it's been that long, but I'm really proud of the way that agriculture community continues to step up in the state of Iowa.
Yeah, and with that 40th anniversary, one of the most impressive numbers from today was $4.5 million to help these families.
Right.
I mean, what an unbelievable amount, and it comes from a steer show of all things.
Thousands of families have been positively impacted. Think of that, over the 40 years. And I do think some of the most heartening stories are those who are able to then come back later and say, at a time of great need for us, this industry and this charity stepped up and helped. And again, but I see that all across the state. Our agriculture community over the last couple of years, we've had some great challenges with the weather, markets, certainly a pandemic that is completely unprecedented. And what I continue to see is our rural community, our agriculture community, working together, whether it's responding to storm damage or coming together to donate pork and beef and turkey to food pantries, to those in need. Those are special things that we get to see really every day across the state of Iowa.
And you mentioned what a great representation of Iowa's beef industry. And of course, this comes right at the end of May Beef Month.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this is such a thing. And you said, we just came out of an unprecedented pandemic. We're all supporting each other the whole time, sticking out for each other, lifting each other up, and this is just the epitome of that value that we have in the industry.
It is, and think of it. So we've had some unprecedented historic levels of supply chain disruption over the last couple of years, and what I hope is that more Americans have an appreciation for and an understanding of where their food comes from. That it doesn't just magically appear on a grocery store shelf, that it comes through a supply chain that has many essential workers, including the great American farmer who's involved in that, and that is hard work every single day, even in the midst of this great disruption, to continue to supply the safest, most affordable, most abundant food supply in the world. And I do think we take that for granted sometimes as Americans. And maybe a silver lining coming out of the last couple of years is that folks maybe have a better appreciation for that. I see it every day. We see it every day in the state of Iowa. It's something we can be really proud of.
Right. And just one last thing, you mentioned you got called out on the competitiveness for this contest this year. What do you have to say back?
I tell you what, I'm going to be working hard this summer to make sure that I'm ready to go in the ring from a showmanship standpoint. But again, we'll have a lot of fun over the course of the summer, and certainly in the couple days leading up to that first Saturday at the Iowa State Fair. And again, it's a lot of fun, a great way to showcase our wonderful beef industry, and of course, all of it is for a great cause.
Well, Secretary Naig, great to talk with you today. We got some steak sandwiches waiting for us over there, so I think we better wrap this up and get going.
I think we'd better. And, again, that's a pretty darn good way to showcase the industry, too, is to sink your teeth into a great ribeye steak sandwich, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And that, again, was Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds and Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Naig. For more information on this year's show, make sure to visit iowagovernorscharitysteershow.com. As for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, the thunder is rolling as we record this episode of AM PM, and of course the rain is coming with that. And it looks like the rain will be sticking around for a little while yet, and with that rain, a bit more cooler temperatures, a bit more tolerable than the 90-degree days that we had seen a few weeks ago. So let's go ahead and see what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see here from the National Weather Service, the rain should give way to clearer conditions. Today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms statewide with temps ranging from the upper 60s to upper 70s. Tonight, showers and storms will move off and give way to partly cloudy skies. Lows overnight should range from the low to upper 50s. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny skies with chances for afternoon thunderstorms in the west. Highs will be in the mid to high 70s. Looking at the affiliate weather map right now, as you can see for tomorrow, Cherokee will be partly cloudy with a high of 74. Shenandoah also looking to be partly cloudy with a high around 79. Des Moines sunny and a high of 78. Albia sunny and 77. Waterloo sunny and 76. And Clinton will be sunny with a high of 76. For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, check with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's it for this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can find our video content and previous episodes of AM/PM on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go there and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Don't forget our free twice daily market podcasts on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Avery Haskell and Dustin Hoffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.